lead to social chaos. So what usually these shastras say that this is dharma, artha and kama. These three are called trivarga, and one has to work upon these three. At least one should excel in one of these three. One should be good at fulfillment of desires, very much good at fulfillment of kamanas, very much, or one should be very good at acquiring artha, wealth, money, or one should be very much good at dharma. So at least one should excel in one of these three. Otherwise, we will keep on falling in the continuous cycle of birth and death. This is from Chanakya Niti. And again, Shukraniti says, one should not pursue moksha without striving to attain the other three pursued. So usually people think, okay, my aim is to, achieve moksha. I have nothing to do with kamanas, fulfillment of kamanas or acquisition of artha, right? So I would only do dharma, probably, or not even dharma. I would, do only meditation and will acquire moksha. So they say nothing, no. Sukham jana vina dharmat. Without dharma, there is no sukha. Tasmat dharma paro bhave. Therefore, one needs to follow dharma. And without the fulfillment of dharma, artha, and kama, one cannot achieve moksha also. And then there are various shlokas from Mahabharata, etc. They say that there is a need to balance these three, the dharma, artha, and the kamanas, and then only we can achieve highest excellence in these. So if one targets only following one, say only artha or only kamanas or only dharma, ignoring, say if one tries to fulfill only dharma, ignores artha and kama, then one would not be able to, fulfill dharma also. When any of dharma, artha or kama is pursued excessively, it not only harms the dharma or artha or kama itself, but it also harms the others. So there is what we see, that this is the framework, and what is the need? How would it help in achieving the SDGs and IDGs? This framework of Purushartha Chatushtay. So what we see is that integrating spirituality is essential, as also acknowledged by the United Nations, as they have come up with inner development goals, and this particular framework can provide a very important role in achieving sustainability transformations, as it provides a fundamental base for holistic development. If we look at the Purushartha Chatushtay framework, these are the key points. We have we know that we have Atma, and the body is different. So we need to understand the relationship between these two. And then how do I fulfill or maintain or sustain this particular relationship is the framework of Purushartha Chatushtak, which talks about basically that there is a cause-effect relationship between dharma and artha and kama, and also moksha. So if we want to, pursue any worldly progress or spiritual progress, dharma is basically the essential part that would cause, that would, kind of become a root cause to achieve these things. What happens at times, we see that, okay, those in the real world, those who do not follow dharma, those who follow adharma, for example, you can say, achieve the success very fast, right? So there is, I don't know whether I have kept that shloka here. There is a shloka, adharmena edhate tavat. Those who follow adharma, become very successful very soon, very quickly. And they not only become successful, they overcome their enemies, they are able to fulfill their all desires that we see in our surroundings, in their world, right? So adharma basically leads to success, kind of, you can spontaneously, you can say, very quickly. But then what happens? Samulastu vinashati. After some time, the person, uh, is kind of lost to its roots. Then all that success that the person has achieved quickly, spontaneously, will be lost. So these are the kind of, the arthas. They talk about various kinds of arthas in Shringara Prakasha. They say they are now new artha earned by one's own valor, swa-arjita artha, and that is of 10 kinds. Say bhumi, pashu, dhanya, etc., etc. These 10 are listed here. And then one is bhutapurva, old, that we have, that we had, but we lost it, but we regained it again. And then the one is pitriya, ancestral, that we have received from ancestors. And out of all the arthas, education is considered to be the most important artha, because that not only makes one understand its relationship, though our focus these days is not on that, but we only focus on some skills that help us earn some livelihood. That is the major purpose of the education these days. But according to this framework, it is not only working on the fulfillment of desires, acquiring some skills that could earn us livelihood. Rather, they focus on both abhyudaya and nishreyas, worldly progress that can help us in earning livelihood and other aspects of life, human life, and the life and beyond human life, next births, etc., etc. The cause effect relationship is very important. We probably do not understand that. If we do not understand this dharma part, the sustaining power of a relationship, and now this relationship could be anything: relationship of atma with the body, or relationship of a human being, of an atma with another human being, or relationship of an atma, a human being, with the other animate, inanimate objects, other rest of the world. What is my role in this uh, particular picture? How? So these shastras basically do talk about how one should behave with, other people. like behave with oneself, behave with the relatives. Shukraniti basically dwells a lot about, how we can have good relationships with all the people around us that we come to interact with in our life. Then these shastras say that the cause-effect relationship between dharma, artha, and kama is like this. Dharma, artha. From dharma, if we follow dharma, it results into artha. And if we follow dharma and artha, then the fulfillment of the sustainable fulfillment or sustainable happiness or sustainable relief from pain can be acquired. If we do not follow this sequence, this particular dharma, artha, and kama sequence, then we might have spontaneous, momentous happiness, momentary relief from pain and sufferings, but that won't be sustainable. So from dharma causes artha causes fulfillment of kamanas, and if we fulfill our kamanas, then sukha, happiness arises. That fruits as happiness. If we do not fulfill dharma and artha, then and do not follow them adequately in a balanced manner, then it harms self by losing them, dharma, artha, and kama. Adi Shankaracharya also has said, Jagata sthiti karanam praninam abhyudaya nishreyasa hetu yasa dharma. Something, dharma is, the causing factor that keeps the setup of the entire world in excellent order, bringing about worldly prosperity for every living being and facilitating their progress in the spiritual realm as well. That is called dharma. This is the shloka I was basically talking about. Adharmena edhati tavat. When we indulge in adharma, we achieve immediate success and fulfill all our desires. And we overpower our enemies also. But ultimately, if we follow adharma, our ruin down to the roots is certain. Now, what is the relationship between the Purusharthas, Purushartha Chatushta, and the sustainable development? So externally, we see that human beings, there is some difference between human beings, and these differences are basically superficial. But all human beings, when we look at the concept of Atma, right? We understand that we are Atman and everybody has the same characteristics. Prana, Apana, Nimesha, Unmesha, etc., etc., Ichha, Dvesha, Pratna, Sukha, Dukha, Jan, right? And we are all same. Thus, reflecting on the body and the soul, the inner qualities, right? These help us understand at the core that all human beings are same, right? This understanding can help us consider equity in humans, and thus it can orient us towards achieving the SDGs like gender equality or reduced inequalities. It does show the miseries, right? The Purushartha Chatushta framework also shows the miseries coming in the absence of wealth. So it does focus on possessing wealth. And it says that among all kinds of wealth, knowledge is considered to be the supreme kind of wealth. It can the person, be it in any situation, if the person is truly knowledgeable, the person can overcome any kind of, problems, issues, situations. Now, if we look at these, the 17 SDGs, we can say that if we have the understanding of Atma and body, then these two, gender equality and reduced inequalities, these two targets can be achieved. And if we have the understanding of dharma in the sense that this is the sustaining power between, for the entity itself and its relationship with other entities, then good health and well-being becomes the duty of the person, and the person would act accordingly, right? What is good for my body, to sustain my body, right? I will not be blindly, behaving, or my routine would not be that chaotic, that I'm, just following something without taking care of the relationship that I have with my body, and that relationship that I have with my mind, right? So good health and well-being would also be taken care of. Take clean water and sanitation. I know what is my relationship with, water and sanitation. I know that it is my dharma to sustain my body, to sustain myself. It is my dharma to clean myself, maintain cleanliness, maintain sanitation, right? And like the 11th one, sustainable cities and communities. When we understand that dharma is the sustaining power, then we will also think of, whether I am, over extracting from the earth, excessive, using things excessively that I don't need to, that will, do not, will not help in sustaining my relationship as a dweller of a city, right? Or as a consumer of an object, right? And so on. And if we understand understand the importance of artha, then we will work for it. So it will take care of the first SDG, no poverty. Also, along with that, zero hunger and quality education. That education is the best artha one can acquire. And as it said, Vedanam Vidya Tachana Ghatadiva. It's not just, acquiring or knowing certain stuff, certain things. Okay, what are these objects? How I can use it? Not only that much. Okay, this is chair, this is table, this is this particular job. That we, these days the education system has become like that. That we become information efficient. We have so much information, but we do not have any, understanding about what is really desired by me, and how could it be sustainable. What is the sustaining power between my desires and the objects, that the means that lead me to fulfill my desires, right? So understanding of artha will take care of no poverty, zero hunger, and quality education. And understanding of kama will lead to affordable and clean energy. Kamanas, right? What are my kamanas? Decent work and economic growth. My kamanas, I want worldly progress. I desire for worldly progress. I desire for affordable and clean energy, etc., etc. Industry, and in order to fulfill my kamanas, I will create some resources, industry, innovation, and infrastructure, etc. And if we understand the complete picture of Purushartha Chatushtay framework, then we will, collectively work upon the fulfillment of these 17 SDGs, that is the partnership for achieving the 17 goals.